Well, first set of twins I've had in a few years. So, oh, this is off an older cow. So, yeah, finally got a set of twins. And I haven't had one probably a set in, I don't know, 3 or 4 years. Well, they look good and healthy. They're up and nursing. So, yeah, that's a good, pleasant surprise. Just showing up out here to, I gotta fix put in a new voltage controller for my solar panel at this pasture. And just ordered a new one from Arizona Wind and Solar. And so I've been running without a fence charge controller on the solar panel. I got a 300 watt panel here, and what I've been doing is just putting a piece of plastic over it to cover up the panel about 3/4 so it didn't overcharge that battery. I just got a regular deep cycle 12 volt lead acid battery, and yeah, I did a video a couple weeks ago about the fence being down. Well, the battery was dead. I didn't have my multimeter with me to test stuff. All I had was a fence tester. And kind of handicapped unless you have both of those. And what actually happened was the charger, the fence controller, the charge controller wasn't sending any charge to the battery, because I put a new battery out here thinking the old battery was just bad because I didn't properly test the battery. And about a week later came back and the fence is dead. That's when I go, well, something ain't right. So I'm gonna test the battery right now, see if I fried my battery. But I don't know. I think if you're around 12 or 13 volts during the day, usually takes that to charge a battery. Overnight, you lose some voltage, and because the fence charger's working, should be okay. And then I got some second cutting alfalfa to bale later. Okay, got the water pump running. Voltage on the fence going, got the charge controller hooked up. It was down, battery was about 11.5 volts, which meant I didn't overcharge it. It was probably with the sun hitting it yesterday and a third of this 300 watt panel working. Bet if you came out and tested yesterday, it was about 13, 14 volts, which is about right. That's what your alternator runs. To charge a 12 volt battery, you gotta be at least a volt and a half above it to really charge it. So got the water pump hooked to a timer. There's still a lot of water out here, but a lot of it's in a mud hole. Put this out here for the calves, because now I'm getting a few calves hitting the ground at this farm. So, all right. Beautiful Saturday morning. Late July. PVC casing in here, and the pump got stuck in it. Finally got the casing out by taking an air compressor out here and blowing a bunch of air on it and wedging on it. Viewer of mine told me about that. There's the casing right there. So what I'm doing right now is running the pump. It's only about a 7 or 8 foot deep well that I did with a post hole digger, the old screw type digger. I kept adding pipe extensions to it. So I'm seeing how long before the well goes dry, and then there's a recharge time, maybe like 5 minutes. This actually probably, water's gone down, but I bet this might pump 10-15 minutes. But I'm only gonna probably need to pump 3 or 4 minutes at a time. It isn't really gonna take long to fill this. It's only been running now like 2 or 3 minutes. So I hardly even really need to. It's just a backup. So if it does get real dry again and we start losing water, I'm all hooked up, ready to go. might not even really need this year, but they got a source of good, fresh, clean water this way. Not that mud hole they're wallowing in. And I think back in the swamp, there's a couple potholes back there somewhere where they'll get water.